And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this evening. This is the Comic Hall and Roundtable discussion for May 11th, 2017. I'm Matt Odom. I'm kidding. My name is Al Rainey, of course. Matt Odom is missing in action. Last I talked to him, he was out in the woods photographing Sasquatch for National Geographic. He will be on shortly. I do have an esteemed colleague, Mr. Tony Coleman, online tonight. Mr. Coleman, how are you this evening?
Doing well, doing well. Glad to be
Great.
here.
Right on, right on. I'm glad to be here as well. We're going to talk about some comics. We're going to talk about some TV shows. I feel a rant coming on. I've already been forewarned that there's a rant later on. So basically, get ready for that. So we're also going to be waiting for Xavier Randall. Hopefully, we'll see Vincent Garrett and Larry Crocker and Weldon Ramus. If not, the show must go on. We'll miss y'all guys. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. Oh, yeah. I'm not wearing shades because I'm actually doing the hosting for right now. When Matt comes on, put my shades on. But I just want to let y'all know this is out of character for me. So I will put my shades on because I have to play that cool role. Dig it. But anyway, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and get started, and we're gonna start on Guardians of the Galaxy. Now that was actually released last Friday. It came out like Thursday midnight, Friday morning, and basically the expectations as far as box office sales, according to various news reports, it didn't do as well as previous Marvel showings that were debuted. However, it's actually had a strong showing this past weekend. I don't know the box office numbers. What I'm gonna do is pass this on to TC. TC, show or don't show us, but tell us what your thoughts were about the movie, what you like, what you didn't like. Take it away, sir.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, man, it was a real pleasure actually seeing this movie. And I was at first when I was going into it, from what I've seen from the promos and everything, I really wasn't too hyped for the movie itself. I was more hyped for the after credit scenes because I kept hearing about so many of those going on. But it was actually like a pleasurable experience because they actually explained a lot as far as stories with the characters, with Star Lord and his dad, and Kurt Russell. I think he did an awesome job in the whole thing from beginning to end. And basically, every character had their part. I mean, I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I mean, I guess we can, but I mean, it did have kind of a sad ending to it. I did hate to see old Mary Poppins go at the end.
Yeah.
But but overall, I mean, I really liked it. I like the way they used the characters. I like the way that each person had their moment, and I believe it's. I mean, storyline wise, it basically opened the door, kicked the door open for the Marvel universe now.
I totally agree, and I'm in agreement with you, man. I was thoroughly enjoying myself. I saw it Sunday morning, and I went to matinee, and I went into the movie expecting a good movie. I left the movie being very satisfied. First and foremost, the story was a pretty good story. It was a continuation. Spoiler alert: if you haven't watched it, please mute your device because I'm going to say a few things about the show. I mean, about the movie. So please mute your whatever the device and just read my. Well, don't read my lips if you can read the lips. But anyway, essentially, it was a continuation from the previous movie. Of course, if you watch the first Guardians of the Galaxy, Peter was, wondering about his dad. His dad, played by Kurt Russell, showed up in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, made himself known, got acquainted with Peter, and essentially his dad was the villain of the movie. But the story that was actually told in reference to their relationship, why he left Earth, why he wasn't available for Peter, all that was explained in the movie. In the meantime, throughout this whole situation, there was a lot of other subplots going on. Nebula and Gamora, their relationship, Drax, and then a newcomer, Mantis. That's her name.
Yeah,
That's her name, right? TC.
yeah,
All right,
man.
Mantis. There was some dynamics with that. Rocket and Yondu, surprisingly, that kind of like caught me off guard, considering Rocket is a hardcore rat, basically, or whatever they called him. They called him some everything, a dog, a possum, the
Yeah,
whole nine.
a
But
trash diver.
right, trash bandit or something.
Yeah, trash bandit.
The trash bandit. But I mean, in the meantime, it wasn't a run of the mill superhero movie per se. The person that was actually in need of saving was in fact Star Lord. Of course, that's different because they're basically trying to save everything else. Um, Actually, there was a secondary. The galaxy pretty much needed to be saved as well, but Star Lord was the main person.
Yeah,
What I really enjoyed about the movie personally, without saying too much else about it, is the Easter eggs that was in the movie. Um, it was rife, and like I said in a review on my Facebook page, I think this particular movie per se, in terms of Easter eggs, I want to say that it had more in it as far as just straight up hints and Easter eggs and nods towards the future than any other
yeah.
Marvel movie that's been out thus far. Especially with the ending credits, um, they had a few things in there that kind of led, like TC said, to the next wave of Marvel movies, particularly the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. One of my most exciting parts of the movie was, of course, learning that Sylvester Stallone was Stakar. Stakar is actually an alter ego of a guy named Starhawk in the comic book. He's a pretty super powered guy, fairly powerful, and he was part of the original Guardians of the Galaxy along with Yondu, and then a few other people that they had in the movie. Another thing, TC, that really blew me away was the fact that they had some heavy hitters for the original cast, the original
Yeah, they
Guardians
did.
lineup.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, because they never did say, they never said anything about Ving Rhames being in the movie at all. So they kept that under wraps like big time.
Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh, she was in the movie, and I'm like, wow, okay, cool. And I did not know until today that Martinex was played by the guy that played Lex Luthor. I want to say it's Smallville.
Yeah. Yeah. That was
Yeah,
it. That was him. Because
yeah,
he kept going on saying he had a part in it, but he wouldn't say what exactly he had. So yeah.
right. So all of that, because I've collected the original Guardians of the Galaxy book, and all of that, just mixed in with what was going on with the current team was kind of like it was almost too much to take in. Take into consideration that they had the Watchers up in that mug. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're familiar with comics, the Watchers are basically the group. They're a group of aliens that watch over every alternate universe in the Marvel universe. And under normal circumstances, they can't interfere. They can only watch to observe what happens over time. So to have them in the movie was a huge implication in reference to what could be down the line, because you're looking at, if they decide to do the Ultimate Universe or the 1602 universe, or quite possibly that ill-begotten X-Men universe of Fox
I was gonna say
Studios.
because with having Stan Lee as portrayed as a watcher in it, and him being in basically every Fox, Marvel, Sony hero movie, I mean, he basically tied all of them together just from him being in that one scene right there.
Yep.
So I mean, you're right. I mean, it basically tied all the universes together in that, and I mean, it could lead something down the road to where they might actually work together on that. If Sony, if other companies see how Sony is successful,
Ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize. I do not know what happened. The powers that be apparently does not want us to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy, but we're gonna talk about it anyway. So don't know what happened. TC is about to log back on in a minute. Matt is about to log on as well. So I am waiting for them to come back online. So for the viewers that are watching, we do not have bootleg PCs. I have a fairly new computer. I have Charter Spectrum as internet provider. So I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I do apologize. Um, so as soon as TC comes back on the line, we are going to continue our convo, our conversation. But basically, as far as it goes, it is one of those things where the Guardians movies have pretty much set the tone for the Marvel Universe in reference to any future endeavors that they will do or possibly take on. And I believe that TC was in the process of um, advising because of the fact that Stan Lee has basically been in every Marvel movie, regardless of the studio. That is pretty much a situation where the studios, at their discretion, if they could work with Marvel Studios, could possibly join forces and have different alternate universes when it comes down to the properties in itself. Um, Stan Lee has pretty much been in almost every X-Men movie. He was, of course, in the Spider-Man movies for Sony. Um, so in that regards, you pretty much have a situation where they can go ahead and expand the Marvel universe. And the interesting thing about this is the fact that because he was a part of the movies, because there was a situation. Matthew Odom, thank you for joining us. We had some technical difficulties, sir. I don't know what happened, man, but I don't know. Somebody's mutant powers may have kicked in and knocked us
Yes.
off. Yeah, something like that. I'm not sure. Okay, there's TC. Thank you
Yeah.
for rejoining us, TC. I don't know what happened. I apologize to our viewers for that mishap. I let them know that we have state of the art equipment, that our equipment is not old and antiquated. We do not have Radio Shack PCs, Tandy computers, Commodore 64s, or 128s, or whatever you want to call them. So, TC, basically, I've been entertaining the people. Thank you for holding on with us. Thank you for coming. TC, go ahead and finish your statements that you were stating before you were rudely interrupted, sir.
But yeah, I was just saying, man. I think it's with what they were doing. I think it really opened up the door for for the possible mix up on there as far as with all the different companies, as well as the way Marvel is working with Sony now with the upcoming Spider-Man: Homecoming, which is coming out in just a couple months in July. I mean, if that's a success and that takes off, then hopefully Fox will go that same route and say, hey, you know what? Let's work together and see can we make some money. We got the properties. Let's work out a deal.
It
That's
makes
what I'm looking.
sense.
Yeah,
And I agree. It makes sense. I mean, perfectly good sense. And I think a lot of that, and it may be hinged upon the success of Spider-Man: Homecoming this July. If they break records and knock it out the park, we may very well see Fox their stance on holding their properties away from Marvel Studios. We may actually see a bit more cohesion when it comes down to that. Matt, just to bring you up to speed, we're talking about. We went ahead and started the show with our thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy. So if you want to take it away from here, sir, I'm going to put my shades on since you are
Hey
here.
man, hey, you can keep them off, man. Hey, let you run the show tonight, man. But
I
no,
can
I
run the
just let you.
show.
I'll run. I do the rundown.
Go ahead and run it, sir. Go ahead and run it.
All right. Look here. Let me tell you. Guardians of the Galaxy. I talked to Antonio after I saw it. I believe it was Friday last week. Tony, I think yeah, last
yeah.
Friday. And I'll tell everybody the same thing I told him. I felt as if the movie was a bridge movie. I thought it was more of a movie that kind of got you prepared for what's coming next for the next phase of Marvel. Um, Definitely not a bad movie. Movie that you definitely should go see, especially if you've seen the first one. Go check this out. They did a few things different, uh, with Ego, but overall, on a scale of 1 to 5, I give it a strong 4.5, 4. Uh, I just, this is just me, and I've talked to both of you all about this. I hate to see, when I see the watchers, and it's just no Fantastic Four to be seen anywhere.
Yeah.
No Galactus. That's what was the only thing that soured me out, because as a big, old school Marvel fan, when you see the watchers, especially, this is the first time I've seen them on film. I mean, on screen. It's just like, oh crap, Galactus is somewhere nearby lurking. But we all know what's coming.
Yeah.
And and that's going to be a hole that's going to be there when Infinity War starts. It's just that hole without Galactus, not being there. And I think that's something that, it makes me mad, that not Marvel, but Fox is just holding on and just holding on and just holding on. And we talked about this Friday, TC, is that they're not doing anything with the franchise that they have. They've done 3 movies with Fantastic Four. Let that kind of stuff go. Let it get with Marvel. Either, as Al stated earlier this week, let partner with Marvel and come out with a good movie. I think Guardians was really good. It was hilarious. It's always funny to see Batista out of the ring and out of what we've normally seen him as No Sale Batista.
Yeah.
And see him in a silly role. And I really think that he's found his niche with acting. And I mean, I even liked him in James Bond. For those who didn't see the last James Bond movie, I liked him in that as one of those always side stick villains. I think that Batista did a really good job. Corny as this may sound, man, I actually like Mantis in the movie. I thought Mantis pretty much nailed it. And it was it was a really good movie, man. It was good. I just, those post credit scenes. Now I will say this, I felt like some of those were a little bit overdone. I felt like some of that you could have just put all that in one synopsis, and went with that. But other than that, I thought it was good. Like I said, I give it a 4.5. I think the only 5 movie there's only a handful of 5 movies that I've even given a 5 to, but it's really hard to get those unless you The Dark Knight and what's the other one? It was another one there. Civil War. So those are pretty hard.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard for me to give you a 5 unless it's one of those.
I mean, maybe they'll do because I mean, I did a little bit of research on it as far as with like the Fantastic Four, since y'all mentioned it. And I mean, Fox has to do another movie, and it has to be out by, I believe, I know that's way down the road, but they would have to do another movie by then in order to hold the rights and maintain the rights. So maybe between that time, if they see how the good things are going with Spider-Man with Sony, maybe they'll say, you know what? Here's a franchise that we tried and failed and tried and failed and tried and failed with. Can y'all help us out with it? Just to see what you can work as far as working your magic to see if it might be a good movie.
Yeah.
You know what? That's all fine and good, but I'm gonna tell y'all something. They should have been done that. As soon as that Craptastic 4, the last movie that they came out with, that garbage movie, man, they should have. When that movie bombed, that movie should have been the catalyst. Welcome, X. Thank you for joining, sir. Cool beans. When that movie bombed, at that particular point, Fox should have been on the phone speed dial with Marvel Studios saying, "Help. We need help." The first Fantastic Four was subpar. The second Fantastic Four was an abomination before mankind and every creature that roamed the face of the planet. Galactus was a freaking cloud.
That's what
Doctor
killed that
Doom.
movie.
Doctor Doom was not Doctor Doom. He didn't have no Doctor Doom suit on at all, except for the first half of the movie. The Thing was 5'2". I don't need to go anywhere else with this movie. That movie was terrible. And then on top of that, you decide to reboot it and then you make more liberties. Larry Crocker is online. You did.
Jesus
What's up,
Christ.
Larry? I'm telling you, man.
Jesus
Whoa,
Christ.
that is awesome. Thank you for joining, Larry. Grace
Looking
us with
good.
your
Looking like a
hello.
man. Looking like a happy man. Look at it.
$1 million
Man,
in two
stop.
minutes. But
Y'all
anyway,
tripping, man.
just looking. Well, thank you for joining us, sir. We're glad to have you, man. But I
Well,
mean,
Al,
Always, always.
Al, you 100% correct. And you know, we talked about this Sunday. Is that Marvel, not Marvel, but Fox should just sell it off, and get the money, and just be done with it. You know, and just be done with it because they're not going to do anything with it. And you got a lot of characters just sitting in the pot that's just not being utilized. It could be put into these movies and could fill these holes. Xavier, have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy yet? All right, so we want Larry. Have you seen it?
I saw it.
Okay, all right. So Xavier, we won't spoil it too much for you. Luckily, you haven't been listening to it in the car, have you?
Nah.
Okay, all right. So we won't spoil it too bad for you. All right,
I will
Larry.
say you guys already you talked about most of it.
Yeah, well, Xavier didn't see it, so he good.
Oh.
Xavier didn't see it, so we ain't gonna spoil it for Xavier. But carry on, Al.
but no, I was just gonna say, man, they need to come to grips to the fact that they're not as successful with the Fantastic Four as they are with the X-Men, and they just need to try to figure out a way where they can maximize their profits, and at the same time put a quality product out that people are going to go see. And I think a lot of that, like I said, is really contingent upon the Spider-Man movie coming out in July. If this is a movie that actually knocks it out of the park, I think we'll probably see Fox's stance on withholding those characters soften a little bit.
Larry, your thoughts on Guardians?
Oh, I thought it was a good movie. I heard you call it I don't know if I give it a 4.5. I probably give it maybe a 3.5, 4. I'm like you. The only movies I would give a 5 to, I probably would be. I like the Winter Soldier more than I like Civil War, and so I probably would have gave that one a 5, and maybe the first Avengers. But other than that, it was pretty good though. Oh,
Well,
I
we
can't
know why
forget
you wouldn't
Logan.
give
I probably would give
we
Logan
know
a
why
4.5.
Xavier. We know why you wouldn't give Batman Dark Knight a 5.
That's not honestly that's not it. That's not it. I just don't. I thought it was a great movie. I just wouldn't call it a 5.
Totally disagree
Now I
with you on
hated.
that. Okay.
I hated the Dark Knight Returns, but
Dark Knight Rises.
or the Rise. There you go.
You just hate DC, man. But
Stop,
yeah, Xavier, look
man.
at Xavier. I mean, not Xavier, but TC is shaking his head. He knows. All right, Xavier. Any thoughts that you're looking for? I take it you're going to see Guardians of the Galaxy this weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. It's just I've already heard
Yeah,
from
you've been
several people
working.
that it's not.
But you've been working too, so
Yeah. I heard it's not better than the first one, but I mean it's hard to beat the original movie anyway. So I wasn't expecting to be
yeah.
better than the first one.
All right. Well, Al, we're gonna go ahead and move on here. Let's talk about today is Thursday. Let's talk about Tuesday. And I look no further. We defer from TC. TC said he didn't want to talk about it.
I mean,
Xavier Randall. What was that? What was that we watched on Tuesday night, my friend, with the Flash? What was that all about?
To me, honestly, it was a waste of time. It's the first 3 minutes of the show was good to me, and then the only other thing that was good to me was the little Easter egg about Bart Allen. But the rest of it, I mean, it's too much filler going on for me. This is I, I don't like the direction that it's going, being that I love the Flash show. They need to stop with all the filler stuff because that's what killed Arrow. And they need to get back to season 1 and season 2, get back to that recipe. Um, Here's another thing that kind of bothered me about the Flash on Tuesday. Um, if Savitar is from the future and they're trying to block him from remembering, like trying to block him from remembering what Barry Allen was supposed to remember, or whatever, how come when he got amnesia, Savitar got amnesia?
Like, why would he instantly forget everything about his life
Look at him.
right then and there? I don't get that. And I think I brought it up in the little group that we're in. I was like, if I think TC, yeah, I did bring it up. If ice and cold slows down friction, why doesn't Killer Frost just kill Savitar or even stop the Flash? You know what I mean? All she got to do is just throw some ice at him and it'll be done. But I haven't seen it one time. I've seen 2 times where she spiked them in the leg with an icicle, and
You just keep going on by this business.
yeah,
You know what this is. TC, would you like to say something on this?
I mean, I agree with Xavier. I mean, it's as far as everything on there. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that it almost seems like they're avoiding to do on the show that they could do to slow down or even stop Savitar. I mean, like you said, Killer Frost could do it, but I mean, you gotta still think that Cisco made Captain Cole's gun. So why doesn't he just make another gun and use it to stop Savitar and beat him? I mean, it wouldn't be impossible to do.
It's not in the script. That's why.
And plus, you would have 3 speedsters against Savitar if you bring back Jesse. So you have Jesse, you have Kid Flash, and you have the Flash going up against a future Flash in a suit. Not to mention Cisco in there, and then anybody else they can recruit. You can go get Supergirl. You can go get Oliver Queen. You can go get the
Ragtag. That's what you called me the other night. You said rag.
the Legends of Tomorrow, which somehow got renewed. I don't know how, but it got renewed for another season. But I mean, you could call on all these people, and this would be like the quickest fight ever.
Well, I tell you what. And me and Xavier, we talked about this in the parking lot yesterday at the Plus. You had one guy that was Savitar 2 months ago. 3 weeks ago, you've got Barry Allen is Savitar. Nobody knows what the hell is going on. I mean, nobody knows what the hell is going on.
What's the motivation?
Then all of a sudden, I mean, exactly. And then this week, he doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know what's going on. And so you got a whole hour dedicated to, we don't know, what's going on. And so you go all the way to the end, and here comes King Shark and Captain Cole. And we got 2 episodes, mind you, fellas. We got 2 episodes before the season finale. I'm afraid that I'm thinking ahead of the pack, and I just honestly believe this fight between Savitar is going to be one of these overhyped fights. He's going to run right through him, and it's going to be a waste of time. We've been sitting there for 8 months. They're going to dupe all of us. It's going to be so quick and easy, man.
The only thing I think that'll save this season is if somehow, somewhere they go the rebirth route, and then like a white Wally West just pops up and beats Savitar. So that now we have the original Kid Flash and then the new Kid Flash, just to bring it back to the comic books modern day comic books. That's the only thing I think that will save it in my eyes as far as this season alone. But I seriously doubt they're gonna go that way.
I was thinking they could either do that or this version of Flash, the modern version, would use the Philosopher's Stone to gain more power and beat Savitar and then destroy the stone or throw it into the Speed Force. That's the only other thing I could think of that they could do.
Where's this treadmill at? Where's this?
I don't know what they're gonna do.
They hadn't used that treadmill since Zoom. I mean, it's a lot of plot holes with that show. It's a lot of plot holes. And like I told every month for the last 3 months, I know I've said this every episode we've done this. Too many episodes in that show. It's too many. This is what happened when you drag it out. It's just like Friday the 13th. You get to Friday the 13th, 16, you seen one, you seen them all. And that's what we have with the Flash. We've seen one episode, you've seen them all. And it's going stale. There's this guy I watch on I'm an Arsenal fan for those who don't know. There's this thing I watch called Arsenal Fan TV. And there's this one guy that's always talking about, he's always using this analogy. He says, when the milk is gone bad, what do? You throw it out. You don't keep it in the refrigerator. This is what is happening with the Flash. The milk is gone bad, and they're just still trying to serve it to people. And I'll be glad when this season is over with, just so they can go ahead and get started on something else, man. Because this it's ridiculous.
It's gonna be all right, man. The turtles are gonna come back and save everybody. So I know that's the
not the turtles.
That's the secret.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move on. I'm gonna switch it just a little bit here since Larry joined us tonight. I'm gonna flip over to this. And Larry, have you got a chance to see the X-Men Gifted trailer?
I did.
Okay, I'm gonna let you and Al, resident X-Men fanatics. This is all you all.
I need to see another one. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't think I can really comment on the first one. Hey, I can't even talk, man. I just need to see another one.
I mean, it looks like something out of Archie.
Hold on. Not to interrupt you. Like, I want everybody that's watching this show to see this is the first time that Larry has stumbled or been speechless over anything Marvel. I want everybody I'm done.
Yeah, I could. I want to give Logan a chance, man, and it worked out. But I don't think this one was going to quite work out the same way. So I mean, maybe that's pre-production. I don't know what that was, man. But I'm hoping, but I need to see another one.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man. That when I saw it yesterday, I did Antonio Coleman, man. I just shook my head and just kept it moving. I just kept it moving. I just like, you know what? I didn't even acknowledge it in the group. I just kept going. I was like, you know what? There's no need of me telling these guys this trailer.
With that, you got to see some more, man. That's a wait and see. That's a wait and see type thing.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. TC. It's a maybe it'll get better.
Yeah.
Al?
I ain't really got nothing to say, man. To be honest with you, I mean, I'm actually with Larry. I mean, y'all know how I feel about the movies. Logan was the shining star, aside from X2 out of all the X-Men movies. I don't have faith in the X-Men TV show. Now, I'm gonna tell you like this. I was on another message board earlier today, and this one guy said it like this. He said, "This is Heroes with Bryan Singer."
Oh, Lord.
That's about the best way to describe. That's about the best way to describe.
Heroes, and I couldn't like it enough. I'd get on to like it one time. If I had
they changed it now. You can use the reactions on you like nah.
Yeah, you can, but you can only use one of them at a time, man. I had to have about 15 accounts to go back and relog in and like that one post. But I mean, I don't have faith in that, man. I mean, really, to be honest with you, I see Fox using that as a ploy to try to keep the Marvel properties at bay over in their kennel. I was looking at the trailer, and then dude said, "That's Polaris." I said, "Who? Which one is Polaris?" Polaris got green hair. Like, okay, so which one is Polaris? Like, what did she do? Like, the girl moved the stuff in the vending machine. I said, I hope that ain't Polaris, because Polaris powers are magnetic. She moved the Twinkie. I said, that's telekinesis. I'm getting confused. I'm like, okay, so, man, I don't know. I don't know. I won't watch it the same way I ain't watched Legion. So, I mean, it don't really matter. So,
yeah, Legion was rough.
I don't know how that
Excelsior
got greenlit.
I tried to go back and watch that, man. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. They just
I've,
kept
You
I've
focusing
can't
watched
be
on
every
how
episode.
you
crazy
can't
he
be a
was.
comic fan and watch Legion. You have to watch it as something totally different than what we would look for. And I guess that's how I got a I guess viewership was high enough to give it a second season, but
All
Did
right.
y'all see the quote unquote hint to Professor X's wheelchair in that show?
right.
Patrick Stewart ain't gonna be in that show, man.
Dude, it wasn't even. It was just a regular old wheelchair, like one that we got a wheelchair just like that at Best Buy right now. As soon as you walk in the door, that's the same wheelchair, man. You go to the hospital
Well,
and get that wheelchair right now, man. That man.
you know, you know what? I'm gonna say this,
They
and
go
I'm
back to the real five.
say what now, Larry?
I said the only way he had a regular wheelchair was back when he had the original five.
Right. I'm gonna tell y'all like this, and I'm not gonna say anything else about it this evening. One of the biggest things that plague the Fox universe in reference to their characters, man, is that they're all over the place. I know we probably may or may not talk about it, but you know they're working on casting for X Force, and they're also working on casting for New Mutants. You know, Sunspot's supposed to be in both of these movies. How? That makes no sense. It makes no sense. You got Sunspot, which is, yes, he was in the Mutants, yes, he was in the X Factor. So how is this gonna play out? Is we still in a different timeline? They supposedly have fixed the timeline with Days of Future Past. What happened? Barry Allen messed it up.
Salvatore.
I don't know that, and that's my biggest issue. Is like, okay, if you're going to keep the X-Men as a separate entity as far as that property, then that's fine. But you have access to every X-Men character, X Factor, X Force, New Mutants, any incarnation of any of those teams. You have those characters, old, new, yet to be developed, whatever. But you decide that you're gonna be all over the place. What's the Deadpool gonna have Domino, Cable. Who's gonna be in that movie? It's gonna be outside. Okay, and then you got Colossus is supposed to be in Deadpool. Why he ain't in the X-Men?
Well, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I think the only character Fox really cares about, if it has claws, Fox cares about it. You know, Wolverine seems to be, even from the first X-Men movie they made, Wolverine was the center character, and you could take that to X2, X3. You could take that to Origins. You could take that to Logan. The only one he wasn't a real factor in, and Deadpool even had to mention Wolverine a couple of times. It just seems like they care about Wolverine.
That's
The only
Marvel's
movie
fault,
he
man.
wasn't. The only one that he wasn't a factor in was First Class,
First class,
and they still had to
Right.
put him in that. And Apocalypse, but they had to put him in that too.
Yeah, right.
That's Marvel's fault. You got all these mutants, and Wolverine ain't the only mutant that Marvel has. That's a draw. It's like wrestling, man. You gotta put the character out there and let people grow to love the person. You can't force them down the throats. I mean, Wolverine sound like Roman Reigns to me, to be honest with you.
You know what though?
But I'm done. I'm done.
I don't blame Wolverine, so to speak. It's the popularity of Hugh Jackman, and they wanted to cash in on him as an actor. You know what I'm saying? That's why because all you had to do was put his name in the movie, and it was gonna make money. You know what I mean?
But the
It
thing,
ain't had nothing to do with Wolverine.
but the thing of it is though, X, before they even came out with the X-Men movies, and Larry can attest for that, Wolverine was in everybody's book.
That's what I was gonna say. I would say, well, I think the oversaturation of Wolverine has to play a part in that, because let's be honest, he was, for a minute, he held Marvel down for a long
A
time.
long time.
All right. Well, fellas, we're gonna go ahead and move on. Let's talk about this. Kind of stay on the X-Men theme. Deadpool is going to have an animated show to debut on FXX. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and speak on this. I'm gonna do the L rain. I'm gonna speak on this one time and one time only. Looks like they're gonna milk this for what it's worth. They are getting ready to just go all the way in and just drag this out And I was afraid this was gonna happen to a guy like Deadpool. I mean, they do it. Marvel do it in the comic books. He's Deadpool, everyone Deadpool. And Xavier knows that's one of my favorite characters in the Marvel universe, Deadpool. And last thing I want to see is Deadpool everywhere I turn, because you dilute the character. But it's too late now. As Al just said, it's too late.
It's already past too late. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
He was the new Wolverine. They doing him the same way they did Wolverine. He in everybody's book. He got about 3 or 4 different solo titles. He fighting everybody. He fighting Punisher. He fighting Ghostface Killer. He fighting everybody. I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense.
I mean, he killed the universe. You know?
Yeah, Deadpool he's definitely the new Wolverine, and oversaturation isn't even a word for Deadpool at this point. Like you say, X said he's killed the Marvel Universe. It's going on twice now, because you know they're coming out with a Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe 2. He's fighting the Punisher. He's an Avenger. He's an uncanny Avenger. You know, as far as the Secret Empire, he's joined Captain America. So I mean, like, he had 2 or 3 titles in Secret Wars. So I mean, he's done everything.
You gotta think about it, fellas. He's in a current. The book just started. I think issue 3 of Punisher and Deadpool. But issue 3 of that. You still in Spider-Man, Deadpool and Spider-Man. Like Gambit, they shut that down. They shut down with Gambit, because he was with Gambit at one point.
Right.
Yeah, Deadpool versus Gambit.
Yeah, and Deadpool and the mercenary for hire, merch for hire. And I mean, all over the place. And you know, it's where I don't think it's a good idea at all. I don't know anybody even watch FXX unless they're watching The Simpsons in the past time. TC, thoughts on Deadpool, my friend?
I mean, it's pretty much like y'all said, man. The market's gonna get oversaturated with it. I mean, it has been already. I mean, he's gonna be the premier character for Marvel now. That they're not necessarily toning back with Wolverine, but I believe that Deadpool is gonna be their next cash cow that they're gonna try to cash in and push down everybody's throat.
I mean, he's definitely not the character that started in New Mutants '98, and that's the character I actually like. I don't like this guy that's. I don't like this good guy that you know he's. I like the guy who was after Cable and after Vanessa, you know, and you know he didn't care about much.
He just needed he just looking for a check.
Right.
All right, so we'll go ahead and move from that, and we'll since we're talking about comedy, we'll stay on the comedy hour. Okay, I'm sorry, Al.
I just wanted to say this. Your girl gonna be next, Larry. X-23. They gonna pimp her too.
Oh yeah, we know that's coming. Yeah. Oh yeah, wait till export. Oh yeah, we are
when Deadpool's popularity start waning, they're gonna push your girl Laura up, and she gonna be, especially if they plan on having her take the mantle of Wolverine in the movies. It's a wrap, bro. She gonna be in like 20. She gonna be in some Image titles.
Grindel. All right. So since we're talking about comedy, we're gonna stay on comedy, and that, you know, I was talking with Antonio last night, and I just bellowed out on the phone. I just went to laugh, and he thought something was wrong. And he's like, "What you see, man?" And I was in tears. I was crying when I saw it, because I was scrolling down our little group on Facebook, man, and looking at the post. And all of a sudden, I come down the line, man. And I saw one post. It said, "Steel Bang."
And
when I saw it, I saw Steel Bang. I said, "Oh Lord, oh my!" And I looked again, and I said, "Steel Bang." You know, I was like, "What is this?" Only Michael Bay. I told y'all, man, that trailer. I told y'all it was shot out in the backside of Napier Avenue somewhere, and they went and got this dude from down in Dooley County. They gave him down from Dooley County, and put him in this movie. I don't know anybody that's going to see this.
Oh my god!
Yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's shocking. It's absolutely shocking to see how Michael Bay just pulls out these characters. Al, Larry, Xavier, TC. I'll tell you like this: if Michael Bay was to walk in this room right now, tell me, he said, Matt, I've got to come up with a script for the next Transformers movie. What should I do? I would politely look at him and say, go grab season 1, 2, and 3 of Generation 1 Transformers, and you pick an episode and you make a movie off of it.
Right.
Because the source material is there. You don't have to create. You got how many Transformers it is, man? 11,000, 2,000 of these jokers, man. And you gonna go make up a guy, Steel Bane? Just make up a guy. I mean, just really, man. You got villains galore. You got all kind of people you can use, man. And you just make up Steel Bane.
Yeah. Well, I think Michael Bay's issue, man, is that he's a great, awesome special effects visual guy, but he needs to have someone else write the movie. But as far as effects and blowing up stuff and spending millions of dollars, Michael Bay's your man. He just needs somebody else to write the script.
Yeah, baby.
I've been done with Michael Bay and Transformers since the first one. You know, I hate Sam Witwicky and all that. I'm not looking forward to watching this one. You know, I was Bumblebee as a mute. I can't do it.
Bro, Coleman. I'm sorry.
No, you good. It's just I thought about how they finna destroy Hot Rod. Whatever.
Oh well, welcome to the party, pal.
Now, I was actually cool with him not being in the movies. I was cool with it. I would have rather them go ahead and put Ultra Magnus' old bitch ass in there instead of putting Hot Rod.
That's TC boy.
Hey. Yeah, it is TC boy.
Open, damn it.
Christmas gift.
Open.
Ultra Magnus in, man.
Light our darkest hour.
I mean, really, man. I mean, you got all of these Transformers in the universe, man, that you can use. All these villains you can use, and you know, Michael Bay just needs to stop, man. He just needs to stop while he's ahead. TC, you saw the last Transformers.
Mark Wahlberg route.
Yeah.
I mean, the first 3 with Shia LaBeouf, I was with. I mean, they were decent movies to me. But when you went to Mark Wahlberg, and don't get me wrong, Mark Wahlberg is a better actor than Shia LaBeouf, but to me, Shia LaBeouf brought something different to that whole character. That bringing Mark Wahlberg in now with this, and I don't know what that Grimlock was or what, I can't even call that Grimlock. And yeah, this I'm speechless again.
The twin.
I mean, he lost me at Devastator, so that's when I was ready to get up and walk out.
Yeah, I mean the whole desert scene when they had what was that? TC, was that Devastated? The thing that kept drilling through the ground was that it? Was that Devastated?
No, that was supposed to.
Yo, Shockwave.
That was supposed to be Scorponok.
Yeah, it botched that.
Yeah,
completely botched that, man. I mean, just completely botched it.
Yeah.
Soundwave was a damn satellite dish.
Right.
My favorite Transformer was a satellite dish. Just imagine, and I got that. And TC, you talking about you got ready to walk about the theater. I got that in the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Right.
Hey man, at least they had Ravage in there, man. So can't be too mad. I think.
No, you can't.
Was that Ravage?
He didn't say
one of them.
He didn't say his name was Ravage.
But we knew who it was.
Yeah, but see,
I wasn't mad at the first 3. I might have been mad at that third one with Shia LaBeouf, man, just because I don't know what that whole thing was. That old dude was fighting Optimus Prime and he betrayed him. I don't know what that was, but to me, Megatron redeemed himself in the end, even though he got beat. But
he became a fake Optimus Prime, though.
That was
Megatron been everything.
That was Galvatron.
No, that wasn't the real
That was
Galvatron. That was Megatron. That's exactly what it was.
No, that wasn't
That's
Megatron.
Galvatron, man.
Man, I'm just.
They said his name was Galvatron.
Yeah, they did. And then RC, poor RC, she was. I'm so over Michael Bay in this franchise.
Al, would you like to speak on this, or would you like to move on?
Let's move on, please.
All I know, y'all had has made probably more money than probably any other franchise out there, and that's what they're basing it off of.
Well, I mean,
Garbage,
that's all it is. At the end of the day, that's what it's going to be with Transformers. And we know that this is a movie that's been around for damn near 15 years. They've been running this crap 15 years now, roughly.
But just like everything, we got a generation of kids who, I mean, we going by nostalgia. We got a totally new generation of everything out there, and they never saw what we saw. Man. So for them to see this on the big screen, to them it's magic.
But no, man. I mean, you look at the Transformers 2, you had them cooning robots, first of all. And then on top of that, you had Devastator with a set of balls. I mean, come on, man. For real.
That were clanking.
When he merged the Devastator, that Joker had testicles. And then on top of that, one of them jokers was peeing on somebody. I don't know, forgot which. I mean, really, is all that necessary, man? The kids don't need to see that. I mean,
look at all the whack cartoons we got now. You had a cartoon based upon the Transformers being ambulances and fire. I mean, that's what we have now. Yeah, Generation 1 to these kids is long gone.
Here's the thing about the generation
all they had to do was modernize it, though. That's it.
Right. But like with the generation thing, so Junior, when he was little, he enjoyed all of the first 3 movies. Then I actually let him watch the cartoon movie, and he literally got up and snapped the disc in half. Like all of the Michael Bay movies, he snapped those in half. Now I was mad at him because he broke something I spent my money on, but I was also happy because he was like, "Hey, that's not the real Transformers."
That first one was a classic to me. That first Transformers, man.
It's classic trash.
I enjoyed that was so much.
First scene.
It was all right. It was better than the other ones.
Yeah, it was better than the rest of them. I'll tell you that. First one was way better than the rest of them.
It ain't hard to be better than the rest of them, though.
Exactly. That's the problem. All right, since we're talking about kids growing up on old school, we're going to a movie that I'm looking forward to seeing. We're about 3 weeks out from it. Wonder Woman absolutely looks stunning. I've actually read a report today before we went on air. It's a couple hours ago where it's already projected to at least make $65 million starting out before it's even hit the theater. That's pretty damn decent for a DC movie. So I think, but I still, like I said, and I've said this before, I really believe that Wonder Woman is going to be that movie that's going to kind of, stop the tide of bad DC movies, recent bad DC movies. And I expect this to be pretty good. The trailer looks good. As a photographer looking at this, the way that they shot this, it looks really good. It looks like a good solid comic book movie. They're going to give you more of a Captain. TC alluded to this in conversation with me yesterday. That this looks like a Captain America-esque, the first Captain America type feel to it, where it's a good strong foundation. Did not see Ares in the trailer, which was good. I did not want to see that. Even if he's in there, I don't want to see it. I prefer to see it in the theater. They got my girl that does all the poison. She's in there, so I'm satisfied, man. It looks like it's gonna be pretty good. And just all that, it's just for me to go down to Amstar and sit on the front row and watch it when it comes out. So I think it's gonna be well. I think it looks good. And I told y'all this before. Women are going to see this movie. I already know several women that's already said they're going to see it. So you can go ahead and bank your bottom dollar that this is going to be a number one. I'd say at least 2 or 3 weeks. This is going to be at number one. If any movie is going to knock Guardians off from the perch of number one, it's going to be this one, because the women are going to see that movie. Thoughts, fellas?
I'm pretty excited.
I like the casting. I do think it's gonna be.
Go ahead, Larry.
Oh, I said, man, I like her as Wonder Woman, man. I like the casting. I do think this is a big movie for DC. I think it can turn the tide if it's pretty good. I think Guardians will probably already be number 2 or 3 by the time it comes out, though. But I don't know what to say. I'm not looking for an origin story, I guess, with it anyway. I want to just see Cheetah and let's get it going.
Oh, you gotta
But
get
I
two more.
guess
You gotta get another movie. You get that in the second movie.
Well, DC has characters, man, that you don't need an origin story. Everybody knows the origin of Batman. Everybody knows the origin of Superman. Everybody knows Wonder Woman, Flash. These are movies that we don't need origins for. We need action.
You sure they know about the origin of Batman, considering Gotham?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
You
you.
think
No.
it's the origin.
yeah. No, I know what you mean, Larry. TC, thoughts on Wonder Woman?
So wait and see, man. Wait and see. I mean, I want to see a villain, but they don't look like they're gonna show one until you actually go and see it. So that's what I'm waiting on.
Al?
It looks good, man. It looks promising. I hope for DC's sake it's a box office hit. I hope that it is an actual good movie. It doesn't have to be a perfect or a great movie. But if it's a good movie, I can see the tide hopefully turning on a positive note for Justice League, especially after that article that was dropped about a girl comparing Justice League to the Avengers, but that's a whole nother topic.
Xavier?
I can't wait to see it. Is this the only thing that I don't like about a lot of these critics nowadays? They keep saying that it's going to be a box office flop based on trying to compare it to Batman v Superman. I think that's unfair for Wonder Woman because you have one character in a movie and you're trying to compare it to a movie that had Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman in it. I think it's unfair, and it's getting a bad rap for that too. But as far as Wonder Woman's concerned, the movie, I can't wait to go see it. I hope that they do it some justice. I hope they do it some justice just so that Justice League won't be, like bottom rail like every other DC movie has so far.
All right. Well, let's move on. Let's go back over to the Marvel side of things. And this is the topic that it came up. I want to put this on the table. Al, we talked about this in our pre-prep for the night show. And Antonio, we talked about this the other night. Antonio was telling me about he saw a post where one guy said he would be satisfied with only 20 characters in Marvel's Capcom. And I'm going to just go ahead and throw this back out there again. And I'm going to tell you, like I just told Al in our pre-prep for the night show, anything less than 36 characters, I'm not buying this game. Unacceptable. At some point, the madness has got to stop. Now, Al has already gone on record and told me he's not buying it right out the gate because he got burned with Street Fighter V. It's a lot of people, and you know what? It's a lot of people that got burned with Street Fighter V that's not buying this game. Now, we're not going to get caught into this whole racket of paying for downloadable characters. Antonio,
you know that's coming.
Well, we know it's coming. Antonio, how much money did we spend on Battlefield 2? I mean, Battlefield 3.
What about 150? 125, 150, something like that.
Yeah, that's about right.
I don't know about AirPods, but yeah, you can have the wired one.
So
yeah,
I mean,
upstairs in my drawer, top drawer.
That's what EA and the exclusive memberships and DLC and all that other stuff. So yeah, about $150.
I mean, at some point, I know the DLC is going to be that, man, but really, 36 to 45 characters. I mean, come on, man. That's standard protocol, man. That's standard protocol. But for someone to sit up and say that 20 characters is good enough for them, lets me know how bad it's really gotten right here. That means it's gotten pretty doggone bad when you can accept 20 characters in a game with that match.
Yep.
L. Have at it, my friend.
Who was this dude? Because apparently he didn't play the first. He didn't play the first two. Well, the
Right.
first one didn't have that many characters, granted, but you could actually unlock a few of them, like the Red Venom and the Red Zangief. But anyway, the second one came around and had 63 characters. In this particular day and time, like we were discussing earlier, it's inevitable. It's inevitable that it's going to happen. Um, because of the simple fact that that's where we're geared towards. We're geared towards a market where a lot of these developers are going to pretty much their bread and butter is going to be DLC. The question is, what is the limit? Like, I've been a sucker for this too. I bought Killer Instinct, and they had 2 season passes for that, and the season pass for each particular season was $30, and I bought that, and I bought the game. Well, fortunately, I bought the game at $19. Same with Mortal Kombat. I ended up paying for a special edition for Mortal Kombat X, 60 something plus dollars, and then $40, $30. So I paid 100 and some dollars. My thing with Capcom's already been blamed or caught with their hand in the cookie jar when they did Street Fighter Cross Tekken and had the information on the disc already and tried to get over on folks. So basically, in that regards, a lot of people are concerned because they're afraid that they're gonna do Marvel's Capcom and gonna have 10 characters for each side. That ain't cool. I'm not gonna spend $59.99 for a game and then have to pay for 3 or 4 season passes with 8 characters per season pass at $30. The same thing that Capcom is doing now for Street Fighter V. Each particular season that they're working on season 2, and each one of these seasons only has 5 characters. So you mean tell me you charging me $30 for 5 characters when the full game was 60? Nah, I'm gonna pass on that, bro. I can't do it.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you, man. I just think enough is enough. I mean, if you're gonna sell me a pack of 15, all right, at a decent price, I could take 15. But I know what they're gonna do because I'm a smart man. I know how low down Capcom can be. Capcom can be so full of shit. I know exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna if you notice, you hadn't seen X-Men on any of these trailers. They're gonna make X-Men downloadable content characters. They're gonna make people have to buy because think about it, you put a Tron Barn out there, a Dr. Light, or Rocket Raccoon or something. Nobody's buying that. Nobody's gonna go break their neck for that, man, or Roll or somebody like that. No. They're gonna put the ice cream and candy out there, man, and they're gonna charge top dollar for that. And I just won't be playing Wolverine.
Let me ask something, Matt. And I'm not a fan of it by any means, but can you blame them? And the reason I say that is because if you get one person to bite, you can get 2 people to bite. If you can get 2 people to bite, you can get 4 people to bite. And this is money hand over fist. Hand over fist. So it has to be, if they're going to continue the trend, it has to be enough people actually buying in for them to continue to do this.
I would rather, Larry, to be honest with you, I would rather them do it this way. Release the game and add completely new characters to the mix. And when I say that, I'm saying if you're gonna have, let's say, 45 characters, you go down the list, you got everybody you need, X-Men, Wolverine, Then add in a Miss Marvel in a pack. Add in a Professor X. Add in, bring something new to the table. What they're doing is they're charging people for people that should already be in the game anyway. And that's what they did with Street Fighter. There's no way in hell you're going to justify that Guile should have been a downloadable content character. Guile was not on the game of Street Fighter game when it came out. That's like telling me we're gonna have the Power Rangers and we're gonna add in the Black Ranger. Black Ranger's not gonna be there. Optimus Prime is not gonna be a Transformer. We're not gonna have the Flash. We're gonna have Wally West instead of Flash. We're adding the Flash later on. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, it's like Injustice coming out without Superman. That's stupid. Capcom just got money hungry. They bit them in the ass on Street Fighter V, and they paid the price for that. They paid the price for Street Fighter V. So we'll see when these numbers come out, when how many people get in the game. Nobody's pre-ordering crap anymore, so we have to wait to see the hard number when the game actually come out. So
well, I don't even think the numbers will help you with Marvel vs. Capcom. I think it's so big that I think it's gonna move, and people have been waiting on this for a long time. I think it's gonna move anyway, regardless. I think if they were gonna start this trend, though, they probably should have started with Marvel vs. Capcom and then moved into Street Fighter. That probably would have helped them a little bit better. But you're right. Street Fighter V was a disaster. But,
I mean, even down to the network play. Because I remember, I think it was Al. It was either Al or TC when they first got the game, couldn't even get online.
Yeah.
At all.
The net code was messed up.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And then
I like the game. I still play it. It wasn't a bad game. But I think they just the rollout of it was terrible.
TC thoughts on Marvel?
You know, I'm still holding true to what I said. I think it's got to have more characters. It's got to have more than 20. It's got to have more than 30 for me to go in there and pick it up, because I know they're gonna chop it up and try to sell it piece by piece. So that's the standard now for every company.
I ain't got nothing else to say, man. I mean, I'm not buying it when it comes out. No, I'm not doing it. I'll wait, and this is going to test my mettle as a consumer, because I purposed it that I'm going to wait until they come out. And it never fails, y'all. All these game developers, they get us at the beginning. Then when the game has actually started losing steam, what do? They come out with this special edition, platinum, gold, Agamotto edition with everything for this kind of price. I don't care who get it before I do. They can destroy me and whatever they want to destroy combos. I'm not getting that game unless somebody gives it to me for a gift. I'm not buying that game. I'm not. Y'all quote me on that. I'm not buying that game.
I'm not. You know what? It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that, because I'm not getting Injustice when it first come out. Injustice 2.
Me neither.
Not getting that when it first come out.
I am.
X bump that.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna let you enjoy X, and you'll tell us how it is and da.
I promise you I will.
Right on.
All right, so let's move on here, and let's talk about Marvel Comics. This is gonna be kind of a twofold topic here. Marvel Comics has indicated that it is now listening to its fans, and looks like they'll be moving forward with a Marvel Legacy. So they want to go back old school, the stuff we've been preaching about for the last how long we've been doing this show? A year now, almost a year.
Almost a year. Yeah.
Almost a year. And Marvel, apparently they've got reps that have been listening to us secretly, and they finally decided that, well, you know what? Let's go back to the old drawing board, and let's go and do the way things used to be. The question is it too late? Al, we'll let you roll out with it first.
Well, I don't think it's too late. I think what really has messed Marvel up is the fact that it's all about progression. And I know that at this particular day and age, Marvel is trying to be more inclusive with different characters, more ethnic characters, more as far as sexual oriented characters. I understand that. I mean, because that's the world that we live in right now. But at the same time, I feel like Marvel has been doing too much at one particular time. Instead of doing certain things like creating new characters and implementing new teams and new storylines, so to speak, they're pretty much taking characters that people have known all their lives and changed them. And I've seen arguments where people say, well, Thor is a mantle, Hulk is a mantle, Spider-Man is a mantle. That may be true, but they're also brand names. and those brand names are associated with a certain character, although it's a fictional character. That's kind of akin, and I laugh when I say this. This kind of akin to the whole Rick Ross situation. William Roberts is not Rick Ross. He wasn't born Rick Ross. He was born William Roberts, but he felt that there was a need for him to change his persona in order for him to make himself more profitable and more marketable to the rap community. And in his particular case, he was successful. The same thing is pretty much kind of like the same that goes for Marvel. You know, of course, you kill off Wolverine and then you make X-23 Wolverine. And by all accounts, Larry has indicated that that book is pretty good and she's doing well. But then you have other characters like Amadeus Cho, Jane Foster. Those particular characters aren't doing as well to the core readers that read those books. And I understand that they're trying to bring in a new market of people to read those books. But those people still have a basic understanding of who Peter Parker is. You know, Peter Parker, Spider Man. So you shouldn't have to reinvent the wheel. What you should do is bring stories to the forefront, supporting characters, create new characters. If you have to tweak a character that's not being used, like they did with Demolition Man, and you know, of course, they made him gay not too long ago. Well, ain't nobody checking for Demolition Man. You know what I'm saying? Dennis Dunphy or whatever his name is. But from what I read, they did it in a way that actually brought him not only they brought another gay character to the forefront, but they also made his character um reputable. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, Larry, because you collect the Sam Wilson Captain Americas, don't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So from what I read, you know, when they reintroduced him to the masses, they kind of put a spin on him where they made him somewhat of a strong supporting character. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. But
That's
I
why I
mean,
laugh.
you know, but that's the thing. You don't have to necessarily change the status quo just to bring people in. And I've used this particular example in conversations that we've had on the show. We are all African Americans. We love comic books. We've been collecting comic books, reading comic books for as long as we can remember. There's always been a disappropriation of black characters in comic books. That was the reason why Milestone created those characters for the DC universe, the Static, the Blood Syndicate, the Icon, the Zombie, because there wasn't a representation of black people in comparison to other races in comics. Growing up, you could probably count the number of black characters from DC and Marvel on two hands. Now it's gotten better, but at the core of everything, we've been collecting comics forever with that gap. I don't think it's really affected us to the point to where, man, I'm gonna boycott Marvel because there ain't enough black people. They already know this. The thing that I'm trying to say is that, excuse me, we came up in a time frame where you weren't going to see that many characters. I mean, between Storm um, and Bishop, as far as major characters in the X-Men universe, you didn't see too many. Other Maggot, he don't count because he was a dumb character anyway. But Maggot was stupid, man. Maggot was from Larry tell you, man, Maggot was a dumb character. But anyway, man, just to go ahead and end this, if Marvel wants to bring back the audience, and I've said this too, you got young people you want to bring in, you know, the LGBT community. But guess what? Them people been collecting comics before they introduced Iceman as gay. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We've been collecting comics before they added 7 or 8 black new characters to the fold. At the end of the day, what they need to do is come up with writers that know how to write, that know how to introduce characters, that are creative, that could bring characters to the forefront. You look at Gambit. Gambit came around in the 90s and he pretty much outshone a whole slew of X-Men for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's possible. You just got to have somebody that's willing to go out there and put the thinking caps on and make something happen. But I don't think it's too late for them.
Larry?
I don't think it's too late. I disagree with Al on a couple of things. I like the new direction they were going. I think it was time to do something with characters. And let's be honest, look at Mosaic. Let's take if you introduce a new character and give him a book, who's gonna buy it? Honestly, I look at it like this. I think what they did was Amadeus Cho was terrible. That was a terrible choice for the Hulk. It was terrible how they did it. X-23 Wolverine was perfect. Jane Foster Thor was perfect. Those are the two. Those are Marvel's probably two top selling books right now. I like that you're giving people something different. Who wants to see the same characters that we've been looking at since 1941? That's why I hate that Marvel bowed down to the pressure of Secret Empire. Captain America being who he is right now is the enemy that Marvel needs. It's the storyline that Marvel needs. But because of all this backlash they're experiencing, we'll never get to fully kind of enjoy what could have been, because now they're going to turn around and make him good again just so they can get the backlash away. You know, I think they should stick with the characters because the characters have a long way to go. I think the champions are good. It's kind of like a futuristic Avengers. I think they just have to stick with it and keep going. Yeah, DC they doing their thing right now because, you know, their rebirth is caught steam, and it's at a time when Marvel is down. And I think the PR backlash, like let's X-Men Gold. I mean, we just live in a time, man, where people on the internet and comics are international and everything. Let's look at, if that had been the Chris Claremont era, who would have actually took the time out to actually research and look at what that scripture was in the Quran or anything like that? That would have meant nothing.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? So we live in a different time where everything affects everything. And it's like I said, you know, we grew up, it wasn't very many black characters. Now we got a book called Black Panther and the Crew. You know what I'm saying? We're all black characters. It didn't make us any difference, but at the same time, it was just like, now if somebody writes a petition saying there are not enough black characters, either you do that, either you make black characters, or you suffer the consequences of backlash. So I mean, I don't think it's too late, but I think they I just hate that they're bowing down to the pressure of what the people are saying.
You see?
You know what, man? This is what I'm gonna say about the whole thing. It's not too late. It's definitely not too late. I mean, we see that they're changing. Even with the Venom comics, they're going back and renumbering and basically doing a continuation of that, which is what they need to do with a lot of these comics. And like y'all said, there's a lot of these characters that they're doing comics for that really just doesn't. It's not necessary. I don't need a royalty comic. I don't need a Black Bolt comic. I don't need a Karnak comic. I don't need a Medusa comic. I just need an Inhumans comic, and that's it. And the same thing with the Groot, the Rocket, the Gamora, the Star-Lord. Just do a Guardians comic. Don't sit there and chop it up and try to sell piece by piece, because you're spreading yourself too thin. And as you see in that list where they're canceling a lot of them, it's not working. So just stick to what they know. I mean, like Larry said with the whole rebirth thing, and me and Al talked about this earlier, it's been a success from the very beginning of what they've done all the way through. They've stumbled on maybe one or two issues here or there, but the rest of them continued on to be successful, and they're still successful. And they're still coming out with new stuff. I mean, that new Bane comic just came out last week, and that's only going to be a 12-issue run, but that's the first time Bane's ever had a comic of his own in that kind of situation on there for it. Whereas if you look on the other flip side of it, as far as Marvel, everybody's had a character, like a comic of their own in this situation. So I believe that they're going to try and fail enough times as far as Marvel will, and they're going to just say, you know what, we're just going to stick to our guns and just say, you know what, we're going to do a Guardians, we're going to do an Inhumans, we're going to do an X-Men, we're going to do an X-Force. I know that Cable comic's coming out, what is that, next week? I mean, Why isn't there an X-Force comic out right now? Why don't they just do that instead of doing a Cable one? Why aren't they? I mean, they're doing a Nick Fury comic. They're doing a Falcon comic. They're doing the Captain America.
A Groot comic.
Yeah, I mean, what is he gonna say? How much dialogue do you need to write for that? I mean, really, if you think about it. But I mean, that's just the way I feel about the whole thing. And I think eventually they're gonna just keep trying and fail, and it's gonna backfire on them. They're gonna say, you know what, we're just going back to do what we know we can do best for, and just keep going from there.
It's reminiscent of the 90s boom, man. And Al could attest to this when you had X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, Extreme X-Men, X-Factor, X-Force.
X-Men Classic.
Yeah, Excalibur. You had so many books that it was hard to buy them all. Either you lost interest in, or either you bought the ones you wanted,
right,
and let the rest of them die, or you just lost interest totally. And I think, like TC saying, come on, man, Slapstick don't need a comic. Fool Killer doesn't need a comic.
Right.
I mean, you know, and like TC hit it perfectly. I mean, they spread themselves too thin. Where DC went back, they say, okay, we stumbled with New 52. Let's get Rebirth. We're gonna get a strict schedule. We're gonna ship bi-weekly, and it's working.
Xavier, before we're gonna piggyback off what Larry said, but go ahead, Xavier, and your thoughts on what we're talking about.
I mean, I really can't speak too much on the Marvel front because I don't collect the Marvel comics like you all do. But one thing I was talking to Larry about this yesterday at the store was I'm hoping that they don't keep killing off these good runs. You know what I'm saying? I've tried to get back into the Marvel comics. I mean, I collect some of them, but the ones that I like, they killed off, and I can't just keep jumping into something that they're gonna keep killing off. You know what I mean? So I'm just waiting to see, you know, and see how this course pans out. But I mean, that's my only sense on it, because like I said, I'm not into the current Marvel comics like you all are.
Well, me and Al talked about this earlier, and this is why I say this topic is going to be twofold. I talked to Antonio yesterday. It's either yesterday or Monday, and he said, "Well, have you bought anything?" And I said, "No, I hadn't picked up anything Marvel wise in a minute." Did you got any variants? I said, "No, I ain't picked up much of anything." And I told him, I said, "I'm burnt out because the variants are just all over. It's like this is Larry alluded to it a few minutes ago. It's like the 90s again, where it's all over the place. It's variant here, a variant here, variant here, variant here, variant here. You know, now you got to get 3 packs to get the one. You know what I'm talking about, Larry? You got to get the 3 pack just to get the one that's going to be worth anything that you really want. Whereas I would rather them just offer it straight out. And if I want to buy it, if it's at a price that I want to pay, then I'll buy it. And I feel like, and this me and I talked about this in pre-prep, is that it's too many variants out here now. It's just they've gone variant madness, at least on the Marvel side. On the Marvel side, they've gone variant mad. How many covers was it for Secret Empire?
For Zero, it was 5. And then for Secret Empire #1, there's 10. That's not including like any special like hip hop covers or anything of that nature.
X-Men Gold. What, 15?
Don't get me blind. I don't know. I got 3 of them.
Yeah,
I got 2 variants personally. The hip hop and the Oscar one. So
yeah, but we all know why we all got those variants. You know what I'm saying? We all know why.
Right.
You know, theoretically, had that not happened, then so there'd be a lot of mad people that's just sitting around with books. Champions was a really good example of how many variants. I mean, it's all over the place.
Right.
Civil War. Yeah, all over the place. I don't know about y'all, but I can speak for myself. I'm getting to the what I call variant fatigue, where it's just like I feel like Marvel just continuously just keep putting out They're just putting out. And it kind of goes back to what we were talking about with all these books, where you basically making variants for books that you really don't even need to be making in the first place. You know, you got variants for like Groot. Who is buying a 1 of 1 Groot #1? And I'm just making this up now. But who's gonna pay $650 for a Groot #1? Because I got a bridge right back there. I got a bridge right now for sale. If you're interested in buying, nobody's buying 1 of 1 Groot #1 for $650. That's a waste of time. No, nobody's buying it. Nobody's buying Nick Fury #1, Jason Scott Campbell variant for $75. Nobody's buying that. They're just printing books just to print them now. It's like printing money. You just print money just to print money, just to say you got it. And I think everybody's getting fed up with it. And I know at least when I talked with Will yesterday, Will said, "Man, I can't afford to keep ordering 500 books to get the one issue. Because I can't do it because I'm not making the money back because the demand is not there for that book anyway." You know, a lot of these guys was able to do that with Civil War because Civil War was a storyline that people were invested into. You know, you look at DC example. How many variants do you see for DC a week? What? A cover,
1 or 2,
B cover.
1 or 2 in the story. Yeah.
A cover, B cover, unless it's a major issue like Harley Quinn #1.
Right.
That's what we call a major issue. I'm seeing comics that are not major issues. I mean, they milk Venom, man, and TC will tell you this. That Venom, what number they on now? TC was it's 7, right?
Well, they renumbered it.
They
now.
went back.
So they're going to 150 now.
Okay, so when they went to before they went to 150, from 1/7,
yeah,
it was a variant for every issue. It was 2 or 3 of every issue.
It was at least 4 variants for Venom.
4 variants, and every last one of them had a 1 and a 1 for $750. Now, who's going to buy that for $750? Larry, you buying it for $750?
No, sir.
Al, you buying it for $750?
That would be negative.
Antonio Coleman, Big Man Coleman.
pass.
Nobody's buying that, man. If you're gonna pay $750, I mean, if you're gonna pay $750 for a Jason Scott Campbell variant, Venom #1, Venom #5, take that $750 and go get Fantastic Four 48, man.
1 and 1.
Yeah,
I could spend $750 and not notice it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No,
about it, though.
Al, your thoughts on the Venom? I mean, not Venom, the variant fatigue.
Well, I agree with everything you said. I mean, it's gotten to a point, and it's like Larry did. I mean, because they had the same situation in the 90s, but instead of the Venomized covers and the hip hop covers, they had the foil covers. They had the
holograms.
The holograms. They had some lenticular covers.
Gold.
Yeah, they had the solid gold colors. I got an Avengers 300 back then. It's like a reprint of the Avengers, I think 15, Behold the Vision, and the cover is a metallic copper.
Yep.
And Vision is embossed or stamped on the cover. They had that same situation back then. I think the difference between now and then is the fact that, especially with Marvel, it's like they're relying more on the sale of variants to keep them afloat instead of just putting out some good material. Like I mentioned to somebody, the US Avengers, it turns out, I have the first 2 issues, it turns out to be a pretty decent read up until this point. But according to that article that TC posted yesterday, that book is on the chopping block. I'm afraid to get into that book and start buying it for fear that it might not be completed for the current story arc, because it might get axed before the end of June. So I think, these variants and stuff, man, they're good. They serve their purpose, but at the same time, man, it's too much. You see there's some of the comic book vendors online on Facebook, and they have the Secret Empire variants and stuff. And Brandon Choi, whoever the artist is at the moment, they're doing it. And I understand artists got to eat. That's understandable, but at the same time, that's a lot. Larry, I remember you told me, and correct me if I'm wrong, we were talking about this on the show some time ago. Didn't you say that you had like all the Secret Wars books, like the tie-ins and stuff?
Civil War 2. Yeah,
Okay.
it was 8 books, I think originally. How many books was Civil War 2? How many it was? I think it was 8 books. I have over 60 actual books, including variants and side stories.
That's amazing, man. And as a comic book collector, all of us, of course, we have to budget our money as we see fit, but at the same time, man, you don't want to spend $1,000 a month on comics if you don't have to, unless you're like investing in something that could yield value down the road. Now it's good to have that, and if I had the money, disposable income, that's why I just collect the main titles, because I'm like, man, I can't do it, but at the end of the day, hopefully Marvel will get to a point to where they say, okay, well, we made some mistakes, but we want to get back on track. We're still going to be progressive, but at the same time, we gotta realize ourselves. They gotta rein themselves in.
Xavier?
I mean, as far as the variants and me personally, I mean, I know I got several variants in there, but the only time I get a variant is if I just like that cover better. I I can't buy into the whole 20 different issues for this one book. You know what I mean? I go broke. But I mean, it's a fad, just like everything else. It'll pass, and then when it pass over, it'll go back to having one book. Then people wish that they had more than one to pick from. So then it'll cycle back through again. But I mean, I don't like it, but I can't blame them. Like Larry said earlier, I mean, when in reference to the Street Fighter and Capcom, if you know people gonna spend the money on it, why not put it out there? You know, I mean, it'll hurt the local comic book shops because they have to buy so many just to get that one. But I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Antonio?
You know, man, I mean, they're gonna keep doing it, and they're not gonna stop. It's like me and Al talked about it earlier, and it's basically people like us and other collectors that's gonna be able to control how often this happens. I mean, if we stop buying it, same thing with like video games and pre-orders and stuff like that. If we just stop doing it, and then they're gonna learn their lesson, and they're gonna stop putting out 4 different variants or 10 different variants in that situation on their board. So, I mean, the power is yours.
All right, Captain.
Right.
Larry, close us out on this.
The variants, man. I'm a OCD when it comes to stuff like that. I'm a completist, so I'm one of them fools that'll go out there and try to get all of them. I think it does get to a point where if you have to order 200 books to get one variant, that's a problem for online. I mean, that's a problem for a local comic shop. Not as much for a online retailer, but it's major trouble for a local comic shop. And I enjoy the different covers, man, and I enjoy actually going out to find them. Of course, that's kind of changed since online. You know, it's easy to go online and just or eBay now, just go and type it in and order. But I don't know, it's just something about getting the books that makes me feel all giddy inside. But I think it could possibly be a problem. Just because, like you say, it depends on how you actually buy them. If you buy the one, like X said, if you buy the one cover you like, then it's not an issue. But if you try to buy all 20, then yeah, it's a serious problem.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, fellas, we're gonna move on. We're gonna roll over to clean up on this last little bit of Marvel before we get into our top 10 list for the week and our haul. For those who watched Agents of Shield, the Ghost Rider, the Ghost Rider has returned. TC, sounds like to me that they were listening to you saying that the Ghost Rider made the show, and it looks like they brought him back to close it out. Thoughts, big man?
In all honesty, man, he needs his own show. I mean, that's I've been saying that since like the first time they showed him on there. So hopefully they'll show him, but then they'll say, you know what, just send him off in the wind, man, and go ahead and start up a Netflix campaign or voting or whatever, and get that show done the same way they did with Punisher, because it needs to happen.
They don't get the choreographers for Iron Fist.
Oh no. No.
And did y'all
Danny
see?
Rand.
And
No
have y'all? You speak. You know, we'll say that for off air because I'll give it to a rat. I'll get to a rat. So I'm going keep moving. Xavier, Ghost Rider.
So Larry can attest to this. We talked about this last night too. I kind of disagree with TC on the fact that he makes the show. Now I do agree that he needs his own show, but I told Larry last night what a lot of people that really don't follow Agents of Shield is Agents of Shield main purpose is to be a bridge in between movies. You know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to be its own little standalone type deal. It's literally supposed to pass you from like Avengers to Avengers 2 or to Iron Man or et cetera, et cetera. So I mean, I like the show. I enjoy the show. I mean, but like every other show that they put out, you're gonna have down times. But if you have to put one character in it to make people want to watch it, I mean, I'm not gonna say if you have to, but if you watch it for one character, then that means you're not really following the show. I might be wrong about TC because I don't know if he followed it from episode 1 like I did, but I'm hooked on the show. I like what it does, so I can stay up on everything Marvel movies and TV shows. Speaking of Agents of Shield, but I mean, I'm happy that it's coming back. It did kind of die out a little bit, but I don't think he made or break the show.
Larry?
Well, I don't watch the show often. I did see a couple of. I started out in the beginning and kind of died off because like shows like that, like I was telling X yesterday, I kind of like to go ahead and let the season play out, and I'll go ahead and I'll get a box set or watch it on Netflix or something that way I can watch it the way I want to watch it. But a couple of episodes I did see. I saw this one with Ghost Rider. I wish the actual movie character was that good, but
right.
I kind of agree with X. The parts I saw of the show, I kind of like with or without him. But then again, like I said, I only saw maybe two or three episodes. I can't really speak at great length about it.
Al.
Al, unmute yourself.
You on mute, Al.
Man, I'm just talking. But anyway, I said I'm not qualified to actually speak on it because I haven't watched Agents of Shield since the last time Ghost Rider was on there. So
we're bad,
yeah, we can move on, sir.
All right. Well, just a few tidbits before we get into our list. And if y'all didn't already know this, shame on y'all, but Shades has been confirmed to return back to Luke Cage. I don't know how they were not gonna have him not on. And if you saw Luke Cage, I don't know how he's not gonna be on there. But that's been confirmed. And there was one other piece of news. Yes, that Agents of Shield has been renewed for a 5th season. As if you didn't see that coming with Inhumans. We're not going to talk about Inhumans, so we're going to keep that moving.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's not even no need to be talking about it. So let's get into our top 10 70s action movies list. This was also a difficult list to put together. This was a toughie. Al, you're the 70s man on the panel. We're going to go ahead and let you age before beauty.
Thank you, sir. I'm up there with Mum Ra, but
The ever living.
the ever living, the ever living. But anyway, this was about as tough as the last list that we had, man. So I got some honorable mentions I'm gonna run through right quick, and then I'm gonna go ahead with my top 10. Excuse me. My honorable mentions are gonna start, and these are no particular order. Street Fighter, Sonny Chiba,
Okay. Okay.
Cleopatra Jones and the Casino of Gold. If you ain't watched this movie, man, it's awesome, man. First time, I think it was Tamara Dobson. First time a black woman had ever been in like a major role in a major motion picture. So, Fort Apache, the Bronx, Cannonball Run, old Burt Reynolds, Black Belt Jones, Jim Kelly. So those are my honorable mentions. Number 10, Taxi Driver, Bobby De Niro. Number 9, one of my favorite movies is The Human Tornado. And if y'all don't know what that is, go look it up. Goes by Rudy Ray Moore. Rudy, Rudy Ray Moore, aka Dolomite. So that's all you need to know. It's a good movie though. It's cheesy is all I get, but it's a good action movie. Number 8, my man Buford Pusser, Walking Tall. Number 7, Shaft, came out in '71. Number 6 is The Mac with Max Julian and Richard Pryor. Number 5 is The Ever Fine Foxy Brown, Pam Grier. Number 4, Truck Turner. If y'all ain't never seen that movie, that's a classic. That's Isaac Hayes. Number 3, Star Wars. Number 2, Warriors, come out and play. The Warriors. Number 1 is my man Bolt's Don't Hit Back. Enter the Dragon, 1973. That's my number 1. That's my top 10.
All right. Antonio, the other 70s baby on the panel.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and do my honorable mentions. I got 2 of them. That's going to be Apocalypse Now, and it's going to be Smokey and the Bandit.
Yes.
My 2 honorable
Jackie
mentions.
Gleason. Jackie Gleason, baby.
My top 10 is going to be we're going with a few ones. We're going with Live and Let Die, James Bond.
Okay.
The Man with the Golden Gun, James Bond. That's my number 9. After that, we're gonna go Magnum Force, Dirty Harry. Then we're gonna go up to Drunken Master,
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan. I watched it the other day. It reminded me of it. Then we're gonna come down to my last few. It's gonna be my top 3 on that is gonna be Alien at number 3, the very first one. Mad Max at number 2, and Jaws at number 1.
Dang, I forgot about Jaws.
I don't know why.
Wow, it's hard to believe some of these movies came out in the 70s.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
I didn't know what was the name. What was your number 3?
Alien.
I didn't know that came out in the 70s. Like,
yeah, the first one.
Well, it's probably like 79, wasn't it?
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, because Aliens 2 came out in '82.
Dang, I did not know that. Okay.
Yep. All right, so I'll slip in here, and my honorable mention on my list is Smokey and the Bandit. I wanted to fit it in there, but I couldn't. Number 10, The Gauntlet. Number 9, Superman. A lot of people forget Superman. The first one, the very first one.
Yeah, the first one.
That was good. That was a good one. I don't know. Number 8, Moonraker. Number 7, Shaft. Number 6, Logan's Run.
Oh man, I forgot about that one.
Oh, now you forgot about Logan's Run.
Dang, okay.
Number 5, TC. You didn't call this one, man. I was sitting there waiting. The Spy Who Loved Me, James Bond.
It was I looked at that one, man, and I really did like that.
That's one of my favorite ones. Number 4, Death Wish.
Charles Bronson.
Mhm.
Charles Bronson. He whoop anybody's ass.
Just by looking
Number
at
3, Dirty Harry. Number 2, Warriors come out and play. Number 1, I've got is a draw. I've got a 2-way draw for number 1. This is hard, man. I was like, man, I can't leave one of these off. So number 1 is a 2-way tie between Mad Max and Enter the Dragon.
Enter the Dragon.
I wanted to put Star Wars on there, but I felt that was science fiction, so I was like, nah, I'm not gonna put it on that list.
You know, man, with
But that is my
my Bond picks, you know, I really the main thing that factored on mine, Live and Let Die, and Man with the Golden Gun, was the supporting cast, because you had Christopher Lee in The Man with the Golden Gun, and you had Baron Samedi in Live and Let Die, and that's what that sold me on both of those.
All right, Larry. Well, you don't even have a 70s to do. You have your
Right.
list?
I would say, due to work and other duties, man, I didn't get a chance to get a list this week.
All right, Xavier. You haven't have a list this week?
Look, I had one, and I had to throw it away.
What?
It was too hard for me. I can tell you, my number 1 was Enter the Dragon. Every list that I did, it was Enter the Dragon, but I could not.
Mad Max number 2, man.
No. Mm-mm.
Nah, I would say Enter the Dragon be number 1 and 2. That's without a doubt.
Like, dude, it was so many, and I'm glad it was similar to what Al would have had, because I had some blaxploitation movies that I was like, yo, man, I can't.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I can't do it.
All right, well, if y'all thought that was hard, it gets real hard. I got a top 10 for you. For the next top 10 movie, it's gonna be the top 10 gangster movies.
I can do that right now.
I can pull that.
I can do that right now
Let's
without
go ahead and
even
get number 1 out the way. We're going to get number 1 out the way right now. You know, everybody's list. Just go ahead and put Godfather. Everybody, Godfather.
Godfather number 2, part 2.
Not on my list.
All right, well, let's see. There we go. Let's look at that. We got head
That's number
shaking.
1 on
people
mine.
like-
Yeah, it wouldn't be number 1 on mine either.
It's number
So
1 on
look
mine.
at this. Is going to be good. This is going to be good. So, top 10 gangster movies.
Right, you say number 1 gangster movie, and you didn't think about Al Pacino.
Oh, I know. I got another one. Hey, I just threw one out there. I got one in my. I ain't gonna reveal my. I ain't gonna put my ace on the table, man. No, I'm just trying to feel the room out. See what everybody got.
Scarface ain't on my. It ain't my number 1 either.
It ain't on my list.
It's on my list, but it ain't my number 1.
Yeah, I got. So that's our next list is top 10 gangster movies, and that is that. So let's go. Let's get ready to wrap this thing up here. Let's get ready to pull our pulls for the week. I will kick things off since this is the shortest haul I've had in probably 6 months.
I'll be right back.
All right. We're gonna get this off and running. Nam Wolf number 1.
You picked it up.
Yep, I got it.
How is it? Did you read it?
I hadn't read it yet. I think I might look into this tonight, man. I've heard it's pretty good. But I'm gonna head and scoop this up here. And the rest is elementary. This is Flash 21, lenticular cover, and Harley Quinn on the Bat Horse.
Hey, okay.
And that's it. That's it. Larry, we'll let you roll, my man.
Well, I'll put like this, man. I got too much. You know, so
What you
I'm
got?
only going.
Well, it's one more over there. Ain't it? I got one more that's over there, right?
Oh, no, I'm just gonna show you this, man. Cause I'm not gonna go through everything I picked up, man. Cause
Okay.
I went to Oxford for free comic book day, and they had 50% off pretty much the whole store.
What?
How did you fit in that store? How did you fit in that store for one?
But yeah, man, they had a good one. So I'm just gonna show you the one I got for you. But Ultimate X number 1, the variant they had the regular one, man, but it was in bad shape, so I didn't get it. But
that's the one I want.
Yeah.
Thank you, Larry. Bless you, man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, I got maybe 30 books up there, man, and still spent under $100.
Wow, that's
So
good.
it was a good day.
Excellent.
They had
All
stuff.
All right, so we'll go ahead and move over. TC,
Short pull, man.
Big
Short
Man
pull.
Coleman.
I picked up this one just because I like it. That's the only reason why. Only the X-22
You had to get that one.
on the cover. Yeah, had to get this one. Like that one. Also, my team.
Oh, you got it.
What is it? Let me see it.
The Venom, the X-23 Venom variants.
Yep.
That's what's up. Yeah.
That's it. That's all I.
Where'd you find
all
those
I
at?
got.
That's what they got to a comic exposure.
Yeah, Comic Exposure
okay.
had them for pre-order.
All right, brother Al.
Oh, I got a bunch of crap too for comic book day, but I'm not gonna go through all of that though. But I got a few books. Um, Bane Conquest, Green Lanterns 22, Black Sunday Murders. They jumped that off recently. This is number 5. Walking Dead. Of course, y'all know what happened with this when I read it, and I was sad. The revamped Youngblood, I haven't read it yet. I got it because I was curious. Secret Empire #1. I haven't read it yet. You read it, Larry?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'll probably read this evening. Free Comic Book Day Secret Empire, which folks is burning. I'm keeping mine.
Right.
Black Cloud #2. Titans #11. Batman 22. I got the Flash, but I already boarded that one and put it. The one you got, Matt. And regression.
Hey, man. Whoa. Yeah, that right there, man. That's top dollar, man.
Oh yeah, cover
Yeah.
price, man. They got some more. They got another copy if you want me to get you one.
Yeah, I'll take one.
Okay. How about you,
But
TC? TC ain't
Nah,
there. Okay.
I got
Well,
it coming. I've got it coming.
okay. Last but not least, man, this ain't a grail, but I was doing some nostalgia. You know how sometimes when you think about certain comic books and you remember where you were when you bought the comic book. Well, for those that's familiar with Macon, Georgia, there is a convenience store over off of Bloomfield Road. It's the corner of Bloomfield Road and what's that road that go down past Harrison Road that you go to get to Walmart? I can't remember the name of the road.
yeah, I know you're talking
I know
about.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, there's no, not Piggly Wiggly, but
Billy
anyway,
Williamson.
Oh, Williamson. Yeah.
Okay,
Billy Williamson Road.
England Williamson. Okay, all right, over there by Harrison. But anyway, it's a convenience store over there. Way back when I was a wee lad, I bought this book over there, man. Ended up selling it, so I was reminiscing, and I ordered it off eBay. It's Captain Carrot and the Amazing Zoo Crew, #1.
Wow.
So, yeah, I ordered it off eBay. I just got it last week, and that's my hauls, man.
All right, well, man, an excellent show tonight, everybody. We are done and dusted. Got a lot of dust off the table, and
We
glad
didn't get X.
Larry's back in the house, man.
We didn't get X.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry, X. My bad, brother.
Oh, I ain't nobody.
My bad, man. I didn't even realize you even got back. My bad.
It's all right.
I'm looking out for you, X.
I
X,
appreciate
man.
it. I'm just a little
X,
old.
bring us to home, my friend. What do you have?
I just grabbed a few that I got. All-Star Batman #11. Good read. Titans 11. And I got Red Hood and the Outlaws #10. Weapon X #3. I like this story too. I really hope and pray they don't kill it off like all the other ones that they did. Bane Conquest #1, and thanks to brother Crocker, I got my Batman 22 Lenticular. Yeah,
Word life.
Just let you
I
know,
sure
man.
had to get this.
Weapon X is not gonna last long. Go ahead and tell you.
Really?
No, it's not.
It
See, that's
started
what
off
I was
pretty
talking about,
strong.
man. That's what I was
Oh,
talking
it's
about, Larry.
but it's not going to. It wasn't designed to last long.
See, that's a
Once
good
again,
story, though, man.
see, there we go. We just got to talking about it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us tonight. I want to tell Al a very special thanks for running the first 20 minutes of this show. Him and TC, props, my boy. Good stuff. Larry, glad to have you back on the horse with us, man.
Word
We
life.
need you. We need you. We need you. We need you here, man. We need you. We gotta get Vince. And Weldon is with the wife tonight, so he called us say he's not gonna be on. So, but everybody, glad to see everybody. People, thanks for watching us. Make sure you're following us on Facebook. Make sure you're subscribing. And stick with us. And for people here locally, we are almost 2-3 weeks away from Comics Plus moving to its new location. And I drove by there tonight after my shoot, and he's got the brightest stove on the street. He's got all LEDs installed, so that store is like extremely bright. So it'd be good that they're going into in there versus us going to the cave like we at the location. It's at now. You go in there, man. You have to make sure you can see. Kudos to Will for getting the new spot, and I'm looking forward to it opening. And that's it. So next show we'll have our top 10 gangster movies, which is sure to go have a lot of arguments on the panel. I can already tell there's gonna be a lot of arguments that night. So, all right. With that being said, everybody, thanks for watching. We will catch you all in 2 weeks. Peace out.